Hey everyone, this is Michael for Spirit Comics. Welcome to my review of Jean Grey number 2. Okay, we've already established that Jean Grey is scared out of her wits. So she's reaching out to some friends, or to some people that she associates with, to try and get some help on how to prepare herself for the Phoenix Force. That's what issue 2 is going to start. Now the cover is pretty nice because it's actually giving us a message. She's putting together a puzzle, which is the Phoenix Force, and she's starting to realize that this is part of her life. So she's also putting together the pieces of her life. At least I believe that's the message it's conveying. And also the artwork is good, and it's really good. It's bright, it's clear, and there's no flaws in it at all. And we can see here that she is not alone. She is with the other X-Men. The X-Men Gold team and some of the X-Men which aren't on either X-Men Gold or X-Men Blue. So let's see what the story has for us. Now it says here, while in Japan, Jean Grey broke up a robbery attempt by the Wrecking Crew, a team of supernaturally enhanced thugs. Just as Jean was about to recover the money and put the would-be thieves away, a vision of the cosmic manifestation of all life, known as the Phoenix Force, invaded Jean's mind with a warning. The Phoenix is coming. Okay, so this time we open up in a different place. That's the old Hank McCoy, the elder. He says, not to put too fine a point on it, Jean, but you are here, pointing at Earth. As you can plainly see, the Phoenix is nowhere even remotely nearby. We're talking about vast expanses of space, completely devoid of a firebird god creature. So she's at the Xavier School for Mutants, for Mutant Education and Outreach. That's in Beast Lab. She's thinking, smart guy. Condensation cuts right to the chase. So you don't believe me, Hank? Cool. So she's thinking that Hank McCoy is being condescending toward her because he's not seeing what she's already been shown. And that look on her face right here, is frustration. She doesn't think he believes her. And Hank McCoy is a scientist. And so, on the next page, we see guest stars, the mighty Captain Marvel, and Kitty Pryde. It's not disbelief so much as there's just no empirical evidence to support your claim. Okay, but if there's any chance at all that I'm right, doesn't it make sense to prepare ourselves? Last time this thing dropped in, you guys had a big stupid war. The moment that thing shows up on a scan, we'll scramble the Blackbirds and they'll assemble every Avenger in a hot minute. But beyond that, Kitty's right, Captain Marvel says. We'll just have to, wait and see. Oh my God, she says. Carol, you think I'm crazy. And Beast tries to quell her nerves and tries to calm her. No one is questioning your sanity, Jean. We are fully invested in hearing you out. Please take a seat. Why am I the only one? And then he literally grabs her by the chin. He says, think back for me. Immediately before you encountered this vision of the Phoenix, did you experience any physical pain? Perhaps a headache or an eye twitch? She says no. But really, she may have, because she was fighting the wrecking crew. He says, excellent. And would you say you were anxious or suffering emotional distress? She says, no! But the fact is, the answer is yes. Because she was fighting the wrecking crew. She was anxious. She was in emotional distress. She was angry. She says, just forget it. And she walks out, but feeling like nobody believes her. And we've all had that time in our life at some point or another. So she walks through the school thinking, no empirical evidence. Oh, sweet. What a relief. Big load off my mind then. I'll just run along, pretend I didn't have a you're screwed girly conversation with a smug, flaming space god. Now, I have to say that, I do understand, because when people will say there's no empirical evidence, well then, I have to think, just because you can't see something doesn't mean it's not there. You can't see air, yet it exists. Anyways, she says, wait, no. Can't do that, can I? Because if Big Blue is wrong, Little Jean gets to live out her literal worst nightmare. And then maybe kill friends and friggin' planets. So she sighs. Of course, the big brain science squad thinks my Phoenix vision is crazy. But this was not a hallucination. It was real. It felt so real. And then she's talking to I forget what his name is. We're talking about a giant bird made out of fire that brings people back from the dead. I shouldn't have to find it on a map for you people. Then she thinks, there has to be somebody I can talk to. Somebody who understands the Phoenix. Oh my god, of course. Then she goes to Cerebro, the computer that Charles Xavier created, to contact other mutants who have been host to the Phoenix Force. And she says, find me some friggin' Phoenix hosts. Jean Grey? No offense, my young friend, but I fear you are doing something wrong. Cerebro does not usually give headaches. Yes, sorry, Colossus, this is harder than I thought. And then over here, this is, I think, Rachel Gray. Is everything okay, baby mama? I have my hands pretty full with this freaking Minotaur, and I have no idea why Rachel referred to her as baby mama. She says, hold on, Rachel, I need to talk. And this Magick, Ileana, says, what do you want? And she said, and this dude, I think his name is Quentin. I really don't know anything about him. Any normal person hammocking on a sentient island in the middle of the South Pacific could expect to be left all the way alone, but is Quentin Quire afforded the same courtesy? No one cares, she says. Karoka and I find your honesty refreshing. So she's trying to be calm and to talk to them about what she needs. Okay, so the Phoenix is coming soon. I think coming for me. Nobody believes me, but I spoke to it. I felt it. I know it's real. I need guidance. I need a plan. Well, I don't know what I need, but I figure you guys are past hosts. You've been there. You've carried it. She needs answers. You can tell me what to do. And then Quentin says, "Heh, yeah, cross your fingers and run like hell." Quentin, shut up. Tell us a little more here, Jean. Rachel says, "What did you see exactly?" "I'm so sorry, Jean. This is terrible news," Colossus says. "Bah, a little fire never hurt anyone. I say embrace it." That's Magick. Hold on. I'm trying to get that Hope girl on this thing. Cable's kid. The mutant messiah or whatever she is. I know I'm bad at this, but there's something weird. Strap her down. Bind her up. Make the destroyer one of us. She says, "Holy crap," and runs out because she sees something bad. And this is some sun-baked desert town, Arizona. Nobody thought the Lundy stood a chance. Not against her. Not against the red ring of death. The Lundy has the stuff, after all. All the stuff in him. All the stuff he needs. Succeeding where the others have failed. Came out on top for once. And that guy, I guess he's the Lundy? He's but ugly. Ready to perform the impossible assimilation. And then, for a moment, I'm thinking that I'm looking at Jean Grey. Because it's been a while since I've read this issue. She says, yeah, that's enough monologuing, junk heap. I don't scare easy, and you don't have the tongue for it. I'll grant you that, Red Ring. My gift is not gab. Heh. It's biomechanical engineering. Well, that's convenient. I've been itching to punch a science bro since just after breakfast. So wham! She used her psionic powers to literally punch the dickens out of him and sends him soaring across the room. And she introduces herself to Hope. She says, "Hey, Hope, I'm Jean." "Heh, Jean Grey?" "Yeah, I had this freaky Phoenix vision I wanted to ask you about, but your thing seemed a little more pressing." "Much appreciated," she says. "Bit off a little more than I could chew here. Misread the sitch, which is short for situation if you don't know. Firefight went pear-shaped, and I somehow let that Poindexter get the drop on me. Mind tossing me those pistols in the corner, Jean?" "Sure," she says. "People always say we look alike," Hope says. "Now wait for it. Here it comes." Oh. Here it is. "I don't see it," they say at the same time. But if you really look at their costumes, they are similar. And they both have similar physiques, red hair, just one is a little taller than the other. And now here's where we get into some, I don't know, I guess weird territory, because Jean says, I know you NRA folks are passionate, but you probably don't need to bear all the arms at once. Our boy looks down for the count. Hope says, "You're fairly new, so I won't take offense. But if you think that one Reaver scrub chumped me all by his lonesome..." So evidently there was more coming. "You've obviously never met my father." "What the hell is going on?" Gene says. So why do they have to reference the NRA, really? Couldn't they just proceed with the story without referencing the NRA? I don't know. Maybe it's because some people think that, there are those who own too many guns or are too excessive, whatevers. I don't know. "Where are they all coming from?" Gene asked. "Got word of Reaver activity in this little town. Reavers almost killed my dad and me once. I friggin' hate Reavers. So anyway, I came down to clear them out. Turns out my intel was either bad or a setup. Instead of a little Reaver activity in town, there's a little town built on top of a massive underground Reaver hive." Oh, sort of like a sweatshop underground. And so one of them comes back at him, and this dude is really weird. And it's called Bombhead. Gene says, "Uh-oh." "What uh-oh?" "Oh, there's a reason he's called Bombhead, I guess. He exists to go bully." Bombheads suck, clearly. So, what was it you wanted to talk about? The Phoenix? Braka. So while they're trying to regather themselves, some help actually shows up. Rachel Gray drops in. She's terrified of the bird, of her destiny, of what it all means. And that's the dude named Quentin. Wants to know how to dodge it, or fight it, or run the hell away. It's a deep, dark destiny, and Grey's Anatomy there wants no part. So he's referring to Jean Grey as Grey's. Oh, I get it. Oh, that was a joke. That was horrible. Jean Grey and Grey's Anatomy. That was bad. Ileana says, "Dark Destiny, ha! Trade ya!" "It's not a contest," Ileana, Colossus says. "Our young friend is scared." She should be. And that's the coloring here. It's really good, and it's bright. The explosions are there to get your attention, to make you to remind you that something's going on here. So then they're all band together. Ileana, Rachel Gray, Colossus, Jean Grey, Hope, and Quentin, who apparently makes stuff from his psychic ability. Sort of, I guess he's like the Marvel equivalent of Green Lantern in a way. I don't know. Yeah, I'm just looking for a little guidance, Like, someone take this thing seriously, please. Everybody knows what this thing did to the other me. I mean, Dark Phoenix Saga. Now, that was a storyline. How in the world could the character possibly know of the title of the storyline? That doesn't make any sense. It's a saga. They named a whole saga after my crazy, her crazy, whatever. She knows that somebody named a saga after her older self's experience. That's bordering on breaking the fourth wall. And that Jean was a full-grown woman, experienced, battle-tested, totally legit. She says, I'm just a kid still. So yeah, I'm gonna run. If I can run, I'll avoid the Phoenix like the plague if possible. But if not, like, how do I keep from losing my whole damn mind? What's it gonna look like? What's it gonna feel like? And then Quentin makes a really bad joke. He points his psychic gun at her head and says, and she says, "What's going?" Shh. Ka-choo! And then all of a sudden, I don't know where they are. He says, "Relax. Psychic firearms don't kill you. They just let me mess with your head. I'm answering your question. You want to know what Phoenix Flame, broiled brain meat looks like? Peep it." She says, "What? Wait, this is you?" Quentin Carminer's mindscape is stained oak and leather-bound books. This one corner, yeah. Used to be, this was my peace and quiet, my all alone, my stare-at-the-wall boredom. Now it's more of a fireproof safe. Holy hell, what is that? He says, brain damage, Gene. I don't understand. Phoenix fire. I guess he still has trauma issues. Burns. What? And so, ew! She falls out of nowhere onto the ground. And now Colossus is outside. I guess a lot of time had passed or something. Or maybe not. Maybe she's still in a mindscape. Because she says, "Colossus, why are you following?" He says, "It's fine. Everything is fine. Why do you ask?" Jean says, "I didn't." That's right, because she did not ask how Colossus was. He just look at the blank expression on his face. It's fine. Everything is fine. Why do you ask? And there's the Phoenix Force again, rising from that house. And so she's seeing all this in her mind while she's totally out of it, unconscious. The rest of them keep fighting. And Rachel says, "Quentin, don't you think the battle would be easier if one of us wasn't catatonic through it?" What doesn't kill us makes us stronger," he says. "These people are trying to kill us," Colossus remarks. "What do you want?" Jean had questions, and we could have answered them with our mouths. "Sure, but then I'd be catatonic. Either way, same boat." "Ha! Devilish, this one," Ileana says. And then we have this expression from Quentin, which is totally unnecessary. I don't see the point of it. He says, "Damn yes, besides, a picture is worth 1,000 words. Not this one. I can only think of one." I mean, really? You had to put that in there with him sticking his tongue out? That is totally out of place. I mean, in the context of this story, he's making some pose while they're being attacked from every side? Really? And he's still sticking his tongue out? gracious. Back in Jean's mind, she's talking to, what she perceives to be Rachel Gray, who once was a host to the Phoenix Force. And she hears, "That Firebird saved me, plucked me out of hell, and gave me a new life. Death will always be part of the equation, but so is rebirth." Yeah, okay, but my life isn't hell. I'm not a hellhound, Rachel. I'm an X-Man. And, don't particularly want to be born again. Thanks. Yeah, that's Quentin. There was no real need to put this panel here in the middle of the two panels, because right now it's about what she's experiencing in her mind. And this is a hope also that she's seeing in her mind. These are manifestations of the people she has been interacting with. I don't know, girl. Dad says wars don't end, they just change clothes. The Phoenix sucks, sure, but it's just an enemy like any other. She might have your number. Maybe you've got hers. But if you keep your guns loaded and your triggers moving, you've got yourself a fighting chance, which has always been good enough for me. You are surprisingly hardcore, she says. Right. And so now Jean Grey wakes up and she's no longer catatonic or whatever. She says, "Thanks for the trip and fall." Anytime, Quentin says. And she basically asks, what did she miss while she was out? And they tell her about, everything that happened. And then she asks about Magick's mindscape. Why didn't she see hers? And Magick says, "Ha, be my guest, snowflake." Quentin says he doubts there's anything in her mindscape that'll make her feel better. So she says, "So I'm just totally stuck. There's nothing I can do but wait and burn." And she's really down on herself now because she's says it's just a mess me up, and it's just gonna mess me up just like it messed her up. The elder Jean Grey, just like it messes everybody up. Best case scenario, it burns me down to ashes before I kill anybody. Jean, nobody's saying that, Rachel remarks. And that Quentin says, I sort of said that, under his breath. Nobody had to. I'm an Omega level psychic. I can read between the lines. Come on, Pickles. Thanks anyway, guys. Good talk. Jean, wait! Let's actually discuss this. Later, maybe. Right now I have to go talk to the one Phoenix host just awful enough. He might actually know how to do this. I'm going to see friggin' Namor. Damn it, Quentin, Rachel says. Look on the bright side. Maybe the big brains are right. Phoenix isn't coming and she's just crazy. So the next issue will be about Namor. But this one, it was a good read. It had some it had some points where it was a little bit confusing, and it was all over the place, but it was a good read. And the artwork, it wasn't as good as the first issue, but I guess when you when you start a new series, you have to. You're experimenting. You're going through new territory, I guess. You're kind of testing the waters. So, while this issue definitely had its pluses and minuses, it was still a good read, and I enjoyed it. So, I am Michael for Spirit Comics. If you enjoyed this review and my commentary about it, please do like and share the video. And if you're new to my channel, please subscribe and smash the bell like She-Hulk so you'll be notified of all new uploads. Till next time, true readers.